I'm a pretty deep introvert. It's not natural for me to get up on stage and present. As an introvert, from a clinical standpoint, it means that I derive energy from inside of myself. It means I can't feed off of the audience. And so coming into any audience to present is a very, very difficult task for me because I have to push my energy out. But the reason that I've been presenting for the last 3 years is because I truly believe in this industry. I truly believe in the personal and business development industry. And I noticed about 3 years ago, before we headed into the decline that the industry is in now, that we were going to head into a real loss of revenue and interest within the space. I've successfully put 66 books on the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, USA Today, and Business Week bestsellers lists. And when I was 25, a client of mine by the name of Harv Eker said to me, he said, "Mike, what you do for us best-selling authors is brilliant. You're working with B-level, A- level presenters and speakers and business owners. And it's great, it's phenomenal, but you're doing yourself and you're doing the industry a real disservice. And the reason that you're doing the industry a disservice is that all of these things that I can do, maybe most of the rest of the industry can't do, but they can do some of them." Now, those of you in the audience that are my clients or have worked with me know that, I've got the reputation of being a little bit of a prick. No, I mean, those of you that know me, that's a bit of my reputation. I'm known for getting work done. I'm not known necessarily for being a really nice guy. And when Harv said that to me, I was 25 and, making about $1 million a year and thought, whatever, Harv, I'm making good money. I don't need to listen to what you're saying. Well, about 3 years ago, I noticed the decline in the industry, and because I believe in the space, I said something has to be done. Now, I come from, my mentor in life is a gentleman by the name of Roy H. Williams. He's known as the Wizard of Ads. He's from Austin, Texas. And back in 2003, he developed a presentation called the Pendulum Presentation. And he presented it for about 3 years. Now, Roy is the chairman of a 501c3 nonprofit known as the Wizard Academy out of Austin, Texas. It's a nonprofit business communication school. And he's my mentor, and I got to participate in round meeting discussions about these trends in society. And basically what happened after about 3 years of Roy presenting this presentation, he said, "It's all passé, it's going to happen tomorrow, and I'm going to forget about it." And about 3 years ago, I said, what his message was so salient, and is so salient today that I need to resurrect this presentation and do it myself. So I've been traveling around the last 3 years doing the Pendulum Presentation for tens of thousands of people, getting critically acclaimed reviews all over the place. But I wasn't doing it necessarily for the audiences. I was doing it for the speakers on stage. I was doing it for you. The industry is falling apart. If we're going to be candid, the industry is down between 70 to 90%. I know this because you know this, because the people in this room are my clients, and I have direct connections to know what's going on in the space. So I decided 3 years ago that I wanted to do something to resurrect the industry, to change it. And so what I did was I took Pendulum and created it into my own presentation. Now, here's basically the concept of Pendulum. There was a book published in 1991 by two gentlemen by the name of Strauss and Howe. They're MIT professors in sociology. And what they did is they went back and researched the last 400 years of recorded Western civilization, looking for a pattern in how society changes the way that they view things and they take the actions that they do. And what they determined was that there are these two 40-year generational patterns. An idealistic or individualistic cycle where it's all about the individual, and a civic or community-based cycle. Now, this industry was built over the last 40 years from 1963 to 2003, which spanned the lifespan of the last idealistic cycle. In an idealistic cycle, we believe that we can be whomever we want to be. In 1969, some of you might remember the Coca-Cola ad that said, "I'd like to teach the world to sing." Because in 1969, we believed that a song and a Coke could change the world. Also in 1969, you guys might remember the book, "I'm Okay, You're Okay." It sold about 10 million copies. As we progressed into an idealistic cycle, we became a society that was plastic. We became a society that was phony. And the youth of society had begun to reject that mentality and to start pull us into another modality, a civic modality. In 1993, American Online went public. And contrary to what Al Gore says, AOL was the real purveyor or creator of the internet, right? But AOL was an alpha. AOL was predictive of what was going to happen in this civic cycle. It was the forerunner of the internet. In 1998, Eminem became an alpha in music. He became the Elvis Presley of this generation. In fact, there was an article today on Reuters that said that the music industry was really looking forward to Eminem's most recent album with the hope that it would save the industry, because again, he really is viewed as being real and authentic, which is what is our currency in a civic cycle. Now, as of 2003, we moved into a civic cycle. A civic cycle, it's not about big dreams, it's about small actions. It's not about going across the street, it's not about going to the moon, but rather going across the street and giving some poor homeless guy something to eat. So, as we've moved from an idealistic cycle into a civic cycle, society as a whole has adopted this new mindset of community about doing what's best for other people. Let's look at social media as an example. Chad Lefebvre and I and some of my other team members had lunch with Dom, thanks to Larry, in New York, or in Austin, Texas, during South by Southwest. And we were having a conversation about why he and his 12 other partners created Twitter. And what he said was, we just needed a way to communicate with each other. We needed a better, faster way to do it. So we created Twitter. He didn't care about the money. He didn't do it for fame. He did it for community. A couple weeks ago, I spoke at Engage Today in Calgary for the second time. And I met with a gentleman by the name of Matt Mullenweg. Matt Mullenweg was the founder of WordPress.com and WordPress.org. Now, he's a 27-year-old kid. I say he's a kid, I guess I'm 31, so that doesn't give me much more room. But he's a 27-year-old kid who created WordPress because he wanted to create an open source publishing community. He wanted to create connection. He didn't care about making money in WordPress. He simply wanted to create a simple system that everybody had access to, that everybody could use easily so that they could get their information out there. When he spoke from stage at Engage Today, he actually indicated that he might have been offered $200 million to buy WordPress that he turned down. And the reason that he turned it down was because he was concerned that the people who would buy WordPress would create a closed system. He wanted to create a community of people working together. So, we've moved from this idealistic mindset to a civic, community-based mindset as a society. But this industry has not. The people have moved, but the industry has not changed. And that makes me really, really sad.